This segues me into the number nine on the list here. Uh, the goal to be the best in the world. And that also helped me build two, fortunately, very successful companies in two different industries because I began with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey said. The goal was to be the best in the world and not to beat on my chest and look down at others, but to go after my potential and have a clear aiming point and something to be proud of, and be part of something that we could all be proud of. So, could you talk about that one? Aim to be the best in the world. So important.
Yeah, I am in agreement with you. I know for me, um, I think I stumbled on it personally, but it made such a big impact that, as you know, I talked to other people about this, that, again, this is one of those things that I've talked to my children about is pick one thing. And that's the part where be best in the world at something sounds for many people too big of a target. It's too overwhelming. How am I ever going to do that? And that's where just pick one thing. I mean, you're so kind when you refer to me. I've heard you say a number of times, you think I'm best in the world at X, and that's wonderful. And it doesn't matter if you ever achieve it. Like that's the thing that you're never going to have that happen by accident. I ask people this all the time. I had the great pleasure with the Cardinals of being best in the world twice. I've worked with, I don't even know how many gold medalists in Olympics, and I'm an Olympic junkie. And so I've worked with a lot of people who, by definition, were literally best in the world that year. And I've never worked with any of them that were perfect. Not one, you look at the Cardinals, we didn't have any hitter that was hitting 1,000. We didn't have any pitcher that made it through the 7-game series with an ERA of 0. Any of the goal, I've worked in gymnastics. There was nobody that scored perfect tens on every event. There's nobody that scored perfectly on any event, outside of just the gymnastics. It's just nobody's ever been perfect. In fact, far from it. You don't have to be perfect to be best in the world, and you don't have to be best in the world at something really big. I liked how you said it today. I don't remember you saying that in the past, but when I set my sights, I said, I'm going to be the best in the world at helping people develop self-confidence. And I did that because the research, the literature was very, very strong that self-confidence is the number one variable for all human performance. It's a lot easier to be best in the world at helping someone with self-confidence than best in the world as a performance coach. Now, I'd love to, have my hat in the ring for best in the world as a performance coach. But the point I want to make is trying to be best in class will make you better. And you must start believing in your ability to be best in class, or you'll never have a chance of actually achieving that. I'm going to say one final thing. It's not a pep talk. I didn't say to myself, 25 years ago, I'm going to be the best in the world at this thing. Well, I did actually say that. But I then said, and this is what I need to do daily to give myself a chance. And that's where those process goals were. And for me, my number one process goal, I think you could probably figure it out, of the 3 I gave you, I've only ever had one always, every day of my career, every minute of my career, that 100% intensity, 100% of the time, measured by, am I giving someone a very clear action step every time we talk? One and only one that will help them get exactly where they've asked me to help them get. See, I know that if I do that, if I am fanatical, if I am nuts about that one thing, I'm going to give myself a chance. And you know what? If I'm the only one that ever thinks that I'm best in the world at that thing, who cares? I know it's made me better because I'm trying to be the best. It's not about the end result. It's about, are you nailing that process? And I learned that directly from Coach Wooden. He said, you quit worrying about results and you're going to start seeing those results happen. Start worrying about what causes the results, and you'll love how this thing turns out. I'll tell